Now that you had a story on how we went rival, now I'm gonna tell you why I deleted the video. Obviously, we're not together, but to be honest, like, if we ended in good terms, the video would have still been up for sure. Especially because, like, it hit 9 million views before I deleted it, and I deleted it when I was like 23. That's 5 years ago. Imagine if I never deleted that video. The numbers on that video will be insane. And to be honest, like, one part of me regrets it because my numbers are not as high anymore because, you know, I slacked off on YouTube videos and I slacked off on social media, period, because I just needed to. It's hard to start over. It's hard to get that momentum back, but it's definitely doable. The way I see it is, if I did it once, I could do it again. The real reason why I deleted the video is because I was in an abusive relationship, and a lot of people did not know because we painted this picture of us being perfect. And that's something that I told myself I would never do again. That's why after I left that relationship, I made a promise to myself that I would never promote anything fake on social media ever again. Because a lot of us do that. A lot of people on social media paint a picture that is not true. And then you have young girls and young boys looking at them wishing they have their life. So a lot of people looked up to our relationship. Like, there was so many young girls that wanted my relationship with him. And the whole entire time when I used to get comments and messages about how much they loved us, I felt guilty because I was being abused the whole entire time. And in my head, I was just like, you do not want this relationship. You don't. You do not. And I was too embarrassed to admit it. Like, I just continued to paint this perfect picture because I wished that's how we were. But in reality, he was very abusive. Not so much physically, more so mentally. But it did get physical. The most physical it got was him choking me. Or like when I used to cry, he used to punch me in my arm like this in the same spot constantly. Like, he wouldn't punch me hard, but when you're constantly punching one spot, it starts to hurt. And I used to bruise up because my crying was annoying. So he said he was gonna keep punching me until I stopped crying. It was more mentally. For example, he used to look at other girls' ass and then like look at me and be like, yeah, I'm looking at her ass, so what? He always tried to do his best to make me feel so insecure. It was to the point where I even thought about getting my ass done because I knew that he didn't like my body. He told me that the first time we met in person, he was disappointed because he thought I had a fat ass and then realized I didn't. And then when I asked him why did he make me his girlfriend, his answer was, oh, well, because you had a pretty face and a cool personality. So why even tell me this? Like, I felt like he used to tell me these things on purpose because he wanted me to be insecure. Coming out of that relationship, I was so damaged mentally. It's not even funny. Like, I can't, like, I'm getting teary just talking about it because these 8 years, I've grown so much. And I feel like a lot of people don't, like, people that know me now don't realize how much I grew. Like, I'm literally not the same person I used to be when I was 21 years old. That girl used to be so insecure, so weak, so everything that I'm not anymore. Wow, okay, let me get myself together. Try not to cry. I'm trying to finish the story without crying. Let's do this. Okay. We used to fight a lot because I was insecure. And every time he liked the girl's picture, it would make me really upset. because usually he would like girls' pictures with their ass all out, their boobs all out, but then complain about me. Like, he heard about my past. I was 19 years old. I didn't have that much of a bad past, but because I slept around, and he heard about it from like the beginning, he used to call me a smut. I don't know if you guys remember that word. It was like a thought back then. Like, that was the word that people used to call someone a hoe. And he used to call me a fat smut sometimes, because he knew that I was insecure about my body. And he used to be like, fat smut. Like, whenever we got into an argument, that was his favorite word to use. He did whatever the fuck he wanted, and every time I tried to talk to him about something I didn't like, I was the one that paid for it. He would start yelling at me like if I did something wrong. And then that's when he would start punching my arm constantly when I cried until I shut up. Or he will make me pay for it somehow. There was even one time that I was in wife beaters. And it was summertime, so like in his room, the AC was full on blast. So it was cold as shit in there. And I mentioned him liking one of my friend's pictures with her ass out, and I told her, like, I told him that I feel like that was inappropriate of him to like my friend's picture, like, you know, as my friend. He took it out on me, of course. Hi. That's my brother's cat. Anyways, we were getting ready to go to sleep, right? And he literally was like, that's my pillow, and he took the pillow away from me. And then said, that's my blanket, and took the whole blanket. And mind you, I'm only in underwears and the wife beater. So I take the wife beater and I put it over my knees, and I'm trying to go like sleep like this, like mad cold, crying. Then he comes and he goes, you know what? That's my wife beater. Take it off. And I looked at him like if he was crazy. I didn't want to take it off, so he ripped it off of me. And he left me there cold for a good minute. And you know what's crazy about this? Every time he made me pay for the things that he used to do to me, he would let me suffer for a few hours. And then he'll come and grab my arm, give me a hug, put the blanket back over me, and say, okay, come here. I love you, go to sleep, let's go to sleep. That was like his way of saying sorry. He never said the word sorry. He would just invite me back in, like, okay, I'm over it. And I allowed that to happen. At that time, I literally thought that was love, because he was still with me, because he still stood by me, because I kept looking at the good times that we had. There was times where he would wake me up to a whole bunch of kisses. Like, he will wake me up to a whole bunch of kisses and be like, babe, are you hungry? Do you want food? And it was times like that made me stay. But he used to be super controlling as well. And the way he used to control me was, oh, if you do this, it's over. Because he knew I loved him so much. He knew that I wouldn't do anything for us to break up. It was the summertime, and there was this girl who I'm still cool with. Not sure if she's from Reading, PA, but that's where she lived when I met her. And her friends reached out to me. They asked me if I could come to her 21st birthday party. That it would have made her so happy because she is a fan, and that there's so many other supporters in Reading, PA that would love to meet me. Now, this is the first time I ever had anybody reached out to me to come out to something, and it was super exciting. I wanted to do this for my supporters, for supporting me and going hard for me. I had told him, like, hey, they want me to come out, blah blah blah. I told him everything. He didn't say nothing. So I was just like, okay, that means he doesn't care and I could go. So I already told them, okay, cool, I'm down. And they picked me up and they took care of my stay and everything. I didn't have to like pay for nothing. A few days before me leaving, he texts me and asks me, oh, what are you doing Sunday? The agreement was that they were gonna take me back home the next day on Sunday. So I was just like, oh, I don't know why, what's up? He was like, oh, let's go watch a movie and have dinner. And I was super shocked because we haven't been on a date in mad long. He made me feel like that because we were already together for a year, that we shouldn't go on dates anymore. Because every time I question, like, hey, why don't we go on dates, or why we don't do things anymore, his answer was, oh, because we've been together for a while now, we don't have to do that. So, and me being young, and me being that this is like my first time I really fell in love, like really fell in love with someone, or even made a year with someone, I thought, okay, maybe he's right, maybe this is how things are. So my response was, what's the special occasion? And he was just like, nothing, I can't take you out, like I can't want to take you out. And I just said, oh no, I was just curious because we haven't been out in a while, so I'm a little shocked. So I got excited and I said, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm excited, let's go. I'll let you know when I get back from PA. Like I should be back in the morning or in the afternoon, but I know the movies and the dinner's gonna be at night, so it works out. He goes, who said that you could go to PA? And I told him, I told you, and you didn't say nothing. You made it seem like it was okay, and I already told them that I was going. So it's too late for me to just tell them forget it. It's tomorrow. They're picking me up tomorrow. And he said, oh, I don't give a fuck. If you go, it's over. At this point in my life, I already had joined a network marketing company called World Ventures. That company saved my life. If it wasn't for them, I would have never realized my worth. I would have never had the strength to walk away. Because I went to a seminar one time, and I felt like the guy was speaking to me. He was talking about self-worth and a person's worth in general, and I felt like he was speaking to me. And at that moment, I knew that I was in a very unhealthy relationship. But even the moment that you know and you realize and you open your eyes, it's still really hard to walk away. So it took me a while. But at that moment, when he tried to use the same thing that he's been using on me to control me the whole entire relationship, for the first time ever, it did not work. And something just came over me, and I just literally said, okay, well then it's over. I honestly couldn't believe that came out of my mouth. And I'm not gonna front, I went to PA and I was a mess. They showed me so much love, so much. I had so much fun in PA. Everybody, there was so many people that came out for me, people that cried just to see me, and yet they had no idea what the fuck I was going through. I was putting on a face. So as I'm in PA, I'm on Tumblr, and I haven't told anybody that we broke up on the internet. I didn't want to. It was nobody's business, and I wasn't ready. But he took it upon himself to tell the world that we broke up. The internet is a very, very cruel and evil place. So many people telling me hurtful things, saying that, good, I'm glad he broke up with you, he deserves better. And I couldn't take it. It was too much. Then the internet went as far as trying to hook him up with a girl on the internet that right now she's Instagram famous. She's just internet famous, period. And then throwing it in my face like, oh look, they're flirting with each other, and it was showing me their conversation. I wanted to give up. I lost it. I wanted to grab the computer and throw it and break it so bad. That's when I realized that the internet was not a healthy place for me to be in. And that's the reason why I stopped doing YouTube videos. I didn't delete all the videos right away. It took me 2 years after to delete them. And that's because I still wasn't over him. When I was deleting these videos, he was in another relationship with another girl. And then she got pregnant. And to be honest, I'm not gonna front. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a fucking saint. But I literally was wishing that he had a girl, because I know damn well he didn't want a girl. And I wanted him to pay for what he did to me. And I felt like he wasn't paying. Like, I literally felt like, wow, I had to go through that. He found happiness. He found a girl. He found a girl that has the body that he wanted. And then now he was starting a family with her. This is something I always wanted. And I'm not gonna front, that shit hurt. 2 years later, seeing that, I felt like, why? Like, why did he have to put me through this? And why does he get his happy ending and I don't? The baby ended up being a boy, just like he wanted. And he ended up naming him the name that he told me he wanted to name his son while we were together. Like, we spoke about these things, and that shit hurt so bad. And at that moment, that's when I realized, like, I wasn't over him and I need to delete everything for myself. Like, I need to move on, because he already started a family. And so I deleted the video because I felt like it was best for me. And again, like I said, sometimes I regret it, because the numbers, you know, the numbers would have definitely helped me today. But I don't really care too much about that, because like I said in the beginning, if I was able to do that once, I could do it again. And I know it took me forever to come back on YouTube, but I hope you guys could understand why now, because the internet really made a terrible situation worse, and it destroyed me. I'm a way stronger woman. I'm stronger. I don't take shit from nobody anymore. I'm still loving, I'm still sensitive, but I just don't take shit, because I know my worth and I know what the fuck I deserve. You got your answer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm so happy that I'm comfortable being vulnerable with you guys again. I know I used to be so vulnerable with you guys all the time, and it's been a while. And I'm just grateful that I have, you know, a lot of you still rocking with me. I care about you guys so much. Thank you so much. If you are going through the same situation, if you're in an abusive relationship mentally and or physically, I hope me being vulnerable with you guys and me telling my story and seeing how, like, how much I grew and how much stronger I became 8 years later, I hope that inspires you to leave, because you deserve better. Trust me. I know that it feels like that's what love is, and I know that it feels like you can't find someone better, but trust me, there's always gonna be somebody better. There's too many people in this world for you to think that that's the only person that's gonna love you. That's not even love to begin with. And I pray that you find the strength to walk away and to love yourself and take care of yourself. Like, no lie, I don't wish this on nobody. I love you guys. Like, share, comment.